In modern day, which restaurant would Llewyn Davis prefer? Would he be at Applebee's
No.
being sad about his career?
If I had to say Llewyn
He'd be at
Davis
some
is going
diner.
to X national restaurant chain, I think one of the only ones that makes sense is Waffle House.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh.
Yep.
Irregular time, cheap food,
Mhm.
and I don't know.
It's a waffle.
You see the full spectrum of America at a Waffle House. Hey, Mr. Kennedy, welcome back to the big room. We watched Inside Llewyn Davis, which is a movie I've never heard of in my life.
Neither has anybody else.
It's a 2013 film, and it was Oscar Isaac's breakout role. You know, that forgettable guy from those forgettable Star Wars movies.
Shots fired at Oscar Isaac.
Oh,
right
really?
at the
And
bat.
also Kylo Ren, what's his face? Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
You know, the worst villain ever. God. And Justin Timberlake, who's fine.
Yeah,
2020 was a good album.
it's fine. Songs I got my suit and
I
tie.
have no
Yeah,
opinions.
Suit and Tie is a banger. And John Goodman's in it for 30 minutes? Not even 20 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Before he dies of a heroin overdose, maybe, or of exposure.
Maybe he's just...
Oh, no.
yeah.
I'm
He's
so
scary.
mad
Yeah.
that, what happened?
I just realized we never found out. Huh?
No.
He's
No.
just going to wake up and be like, whoa.
Well, what is he supposed to do? What is he
He's
supposed to
gonna
do?
hobble, I guess.
Walking
Yeah.
down the road on the stick.
Oh, man.
Shouldn't mind that.
Yep.
So,
Jeez.
this
Yeah.
movie's 10 years old. Again, Oscar Isaac's breakout role. It's a Coen Brothers film.
Is it really his breakout?
It's his breakout role, right? Am
Wow.
I?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
So he had done other stuff, but this is like
This is his first big.
Okay.
this is his
Big
big
movie.
break in quotes, I guess. He sang everything we heard. By the way, it wasn't
cool.
Got a heck of a voice.
was actually him, and he actually, I know you would ask, plays the guitar for real.
I was gonna ask.
That was the first thing I noticed is he's finger picking in the opening scene or whatever, and I'm like, yo, that's he's actually doing that.
Nice.
So there you go, Oscar Isaac, talented musician. He also arranged a couple of the songs in the film as well. So
What does that mean for music?
I think he either wrote or at least put words and music together, and so he made the song happen.
That's cool.
If somebody else wrote the lyrics, he helped make it, a song.
Arranged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I said.
Got it.
So the movie is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's not a. We were talking after it ended. It's not a. There's no redemption arc. It's not really a hero's journey in the way that The Matrix was. It's just kind of we watch some guy,
Yep.
be bummed out, and then the movie ends and he's still bummed out. So
Yeah.
we just kind of go on.
Yep. And beat up.
Yeah.
What's that Greek tragedy with the guy pushing the boulder up the hill?
Sisyphus?
That's this guy.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it keeps
Yeah,
the
there's
boulder
no
keeps rolling back down on
redemption.
him.
He's just cursed to live this forever.
Danielle brought
basically.
up that it can be considered a black comedy, and I get that.
I feel like the lines that were comedic were definitely considered black comedy.
Not just the
Yeah.
lines, too,
I've-
but some of the
I don't think I've ever heard that term.
Like dark comedy?
Yeah.
Black
Is it
comedy?
just dark comedy?
Black
Yeah.
comedy is the comedians we listen to.
Oh, sorry. It's a dark comedy. You're right. Black comedy is what Tom Segura does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cat stuff at the first cat, that's comedic. The cat runs out and then he loses the cat again, and it's more of this guy can't catch a break, ha 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 ha, instead of jokes and bits. It's
Or a couple good one-liners though, especially John
yeah.
Goodman's character.
Yeah.
John Gibbons' character.
This might interest you. Yeah.
Yeah, tapping him on the shoulder with the cane all the time.
Yeah.
So in the gist of the film is he's a struggling folk musician in 1961, right?
Sometime in the
Yep.
early
something
60s.
like that.
Yeah.
And he plays like small town bars or whatever. He's not made it. He used to be in a duo that I guess was bigger, right? That's the impression I got.
I don't know if it was
Right.
bigger, but I think he was more well received.
Yeah.
Like,
They were more likable.
but he said at one point, he's like, we weren't a big name as a duo act, so it's not like a big re-education. So I don't know if they ever
Yeah.
really hit success, but I think he may have been more happy when he had his buddy.
I guess I
But
might
still,
have
yeah.
I might have projected the success because he has the record in that house that he wakes up in, which we later learn is whatever that couple's name is. It's their place.
The Gorfiends?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
But then again, he had a box of his own records too, and then Adam Driver's character we learn has a box of his.
He's like
his
2 boxes of
records, too.
Al coding records.
It's just everybody's got.
Nobody's
boxes.
selling anything.
No. So, and it's a bad time for folk music. I don't remember the line. It's like folk music is like music that was never new but never gets old.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think that was it at the very end. I was like, that's the most profound line in this movie, to me at least. I really liked the way that was put.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also like folk music because I'm 87 years old.
It might have set me on a folk music kick.
Oh.
I,
yeah?
I really enjoyed it. I sat down. So I'm in a hotel on a trip, and I sit down in this chair back here and set my laptop down. Had a glass of whiskey, and that first song came on. I was like, oh, this is a really good vibe.
it's a
I could
good
do
song.
this all
Yeah.
night long.
I'm not a movie soundtrack guy, but I would listen to this one.
I want to. Yeah.
It was very good. Whoever
You said you went and listened to other music?
Nick?
I want to. I need.
Oh,
to.
you want? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It set a fire under me.
So
That you can't contain and you can't control.
There it is. I almost
stop.
Carry on.
Please
Jesus,
don't.
Juke.
Please don't bring that into my life right now.
I don't
So
know
the
what we're
cat.
talking about.
Let's talk about the cats. Because the cats were a weird. I read a fact on Wiki or something that when they were writing this movie, they like had finished it or at least got pretty far along, and then were like, this movie has no story, like it doesn't have a plot, right? And so what they did to kind of connect dots and make pieces like set pieces or whatever was they added the cats. So the cats are. Like whatever that narrative piece is that moves the story along. I forget what that's
MacGuffin?
called. Yep. The cat is the MacGuffin in the story.
McFluffin.
Oh,
Nah, I don't know. We can keep workshopping it.
3 cats. And I feel like maybe this is too early to get into this discussion, but I feel like the cats were like, I feel like there's symbolism in the cats. I don't know if you caught along with that too, anybody else.
Well, the actual cat's name is Ulysses, which lives like the Greek tale or whatever, like somebody who makes it home after a long journey. So there is that. But
Nice.
yeah, as far as the nuances of the other cats, I haven't really
And
given
then
much thought
there
to
was
it
that
yet.
movie poster that he saw at the end. It was like an animal movie where they go on like a journey across the United States or something.
It was like a precursor to Homeward Bound, it looked like.
Right.
Yeah.
I just thought, and maybe I'm projecting or trying to find things that aren't there, but I felt like the first cat, like we're introduced with the cat with him escaping the apartment, the Gorfien's apartment. And I felt like that was kind of indicative of the chaos that he was about to have. Like, you know, I don't know. And then he's chasing this cat around and he's got this cat with him and he's trying to make sure. And then it runs away again out the window. And then like he's plunged into even more chaos with the whole baby thing and his manager chaos and whatever. And he doesn't have anywhere to stay. And
Yeah, this guy can't catch a break.
the cat's out of the house. Like he's kind of loose as well. And then we have him find the cat with the whole, like he gets the abortion set up for the lady or whatever. And he might have a music lead or something. And then he's got the cat and he gets the cat back. But then we have the other cat in Chicago that gets hit by the car. And then what happens right after that? He's like, he gets to Chicago and his music break that he thought he had dies.
Yeah.
So I kind of found something there. And then
Well, no, the cat that he hit was after, because that's when he was hitching back to New York, wasn't it?
you're right.
So that
you're
was
right.
like,
But
so it's like just
even
like
still,
it was like this is symbolic of like this thing just hitting him, and now it's like, what am I even doing? Like, and I'm hobbling away and broken.
And then he goes back and tries to join the Navy thing, and then that falls apart.
Yeah.
And then destitute, he ends back at the Gorfiends, which is where we start, and the original cat is back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. I was trying to
Well,
grab.
cats are notoriously strays, right? They kind of come and go from the home as you please, typically. Not me, because I'm in a 6th floor apartment, so my cat doesn't move at all. But
Yeah.
like, typically a cat will like go out and fend for themselves, kind of thing. Being a cat, this guy's being an artist and fending for himself and trying to be true to himself, which is what like a cat. Every cat thinks they're the most cat that ever existed, right?
Right.
So
They're gods.
I think you're on something there. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think about like the different. There was one cat that he thought was the right cat. He was chasing
Right, and I
the
don't know what
wrong
that
cat, but it
is.
wasn't the right cat. So maybe
And
he was.
was that like he's trying to chase the opportunity in Chicago and really
Maybe
the-
that's what that
the main
was,
opportunity?
or maybe
'Cause-
it was the one. Was that right before he did the Mr. Kennedy song? So he was doing some pop song, and then he
Yeah.
missed the opportunity to get the royalties on that.
Yep.
So it's. God, this guy had
I
a
feel like
really
there's
no
something
good
there.
rotten day, huh?
Yeah.
It's terrible. Every turn, something just terrible.
I did not pay attention to any of the cats or what the cats were doing.
Really?
Wow. It was,
I mean, I knew they were there, not in the detail you guys are talking.
It's not a
right
cat
now.
guy.
oh, it was like
I'm
it
just
was,
sitting here listening. You say cat 1,000 times.
it was pretty stark to me that
Well,
they
it is-
were really
yeah.
narratively important.
Well, they're all orange too, so there's got to be some thread connecting it. But yeah, I'm wondering, what that.
So you
Middle
think
cat
they're
is-
different cats?
No, they
The
were.
second one
definitively.
was,
There were 3
yeah.
cats.
I know
There
there
was
were
the
two
the
because he
Gorfines cat.
grabbed the wrong one.
The Gorfine.
And then the
so
one
they're-
like on the trip that could not have been either of those. No way.
yeah, the one that got
Well, now
hit.
that I know, oh man, wait. Now that we know that all that happened before
Oh, do
the
we?
cat got loose, I don't know.
Do we? Because it's a cyclical story. Because at the end is just the beginning again, but the cat is kept in.
Which
the apartment.
signifies change, I think.
It signifies
if we're going back to the
change.
cat meeting, because it's like now, which almost feels like Groundhog Day, where it's like, okay, he's learned how to like break from the cycle, maybe.
But right after that, he's like at that bar where he's playing the gig the next night, and he heckles that lady.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when like we've got the repeat of the guy beating him up, but then we know why. He heckled his
Yeah.
sister.
Wife, I
And-
think.
Wife, sorry. Trying to play her weird.
He did sound
thing.
Southern, though. It could have been a wife-sister situation.
true.
I mean,
And then I didn't
You're
fully
clowning on your
underst-
own people.
I didn't fully understand like why Bob Dylan was at the end.
I thought it was because it was like he has this amazing set, and then oh my God, Bob Dylan follows him. Great, he's not gonna get noticed at all because Bob Dylan's playing next. I
That-
thought that was kind of what they're implying. Is
Either
like
that
even after all
or-
that, it still doesn't matter.
That or like he was kind of being down a little bit on folk music and his set at the end there, and like other people had as well. But then right at the end, we've like, it was freaking Bob Dylan. He's like,
Yeah,
he's folk
maybe that's the
music
silver
personified.
lining. Yeah, and also like his song. Oh God, what was it? It was like "Fare Thee Well."
Yep.
They
But
both had
they
that same
both had the
phrase.
same
So it was like a
song.
continuation. Yeah, maybe it was like an affirmation of like, yeah, you're right. You're on the right path. Keep going strong kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow.
Or you're wrong, like,
Coen Brothers, man.
or you're wrong person, but right place, right time. Like it's not you. It's gonna
Yeah.
be Bob Dylan. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. But then there's also like at the Gorfine's apartment, that couple that they have the last time, or like, hey, they just played your song for us. That's gonna be a hit.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna be a
there's
hit,
another
man.
silver lining
Royalties on
there.
that. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It was very
I-
like the ending is what threw me. I don't know what we're supposed to gather from the ending there.
You mean like
I
whether or
was-
not the
I was
cycle
trying
continues
to-
or what?
What the cycle meant. Like, I just didn't. I'm
think
not
it's
sure.
just
I was
struggling
overanalyzing
artist.
things. I went into this. I was watching on my laptop on Amazon Prime, right? And as I was like going full screen starting the movie, I hovered over the screen and the cast pops up. It shows you like the cast, the characters they play, all that. And on Amazon, the picture for Llewyn Davis is a picture
Yeah.
of his father.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent the entire movie going, it's a time thing. We're going to come
no.
back.
Oh,
and it's going
gosh.
to be his father.
Terrible.
And then the guy in the alley at the very beginning of the movie, it was like, oh, it's a guy in the shadows. I bet you that's him. He's beating up himself.
Oh
It's going
my
to come back.
gosh.
So,
You turned this movie into Fight Club.
well, and then, well,
That's awesome.
it made sense too
Oh.
because I was like, all right, well, this list is really just a list of movies that friends have suggested. So, like, they're not going to put just a random, like, music movie on here.
No, they did.
No, they are.
They did. They did. That's exactly what happened.
It is so funny that you looked that deeply into it, but saw 3 cats of the same color at different points, and you're like, nah.
They're the same color. They're the same color.
means
It's the same
nothing.
cat for me.
Cats are so-
It's just stunt doubles.
Yeah, that's I
let
can't
it
believe
slide.
Amazon got that wrong. They usually don't have too many mistakes on their site. or
really
anything.
threw me
I
off.
was like, I wanted to send them a message and be like, you guys need to fix this. This is misinformation.
yeah. So, can we talk about how virile Llewyn Davis must be? Because Gene was giving him the business for like, you need to wear
Yeah, oh,
double
man.
condoms.
Double
and-
condoms.
I'm like,
He is
golly.
a real
She
pistol.
was so rude.
Wrap
I was
duct
like,
tape around it.
yeah, like this dude.
Yeah,
must be,
You had
She-
to agree to this, ma'am.
Yeah, I was like, she's not
Maybe
blameless in
relax.
this. Like,
Maybe
yeah,
relax.
you did this too.
Yeah.
Takes 2 to tango.
It's ridiculous.
Fuck
I mean,
you.
That's yeah, exactly.
That was a good line.
Yeah. You're familiar with the phrase "it takes 2 to tango"? Yeah, a lot of really good one-liners in this. A lot funnier. You need some of that comic relief though in this, or else this would just be a beating.
Right. And then I thought we were going to go to Akron too. I thought because
I did
He's got
too.
the whole abortion doctor tells him that that he's the one for Gene is free because the last girl he brought
Diane,
there,
I think.
yeah, Diane didn't go through with it, or she did go through. She kept the baby or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's in Akron, with his kid, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we have
2-year-old.
that part where he's driving, I guess, back or hit.
Yeah,
is he
he's
driving?
He's
driving back
hitchhiking with
to
that
New
guy
York.
that was going to New York with his family or something.
Yeah, and yeah, that's right. And the dude's like, if you drive, I'll pick you up or whatever. And I thought he was really gonna turn off to Akron, but I guess just that moment of almost doing it
Yeah.
or thinking about it was what we were supposed to take out of that.
Yeah, it was just adding another mental like layer. Like, oh god, it's like this other thing that's happening. It's like just adding more drama. I guess
Yeah.
it's another problem.
I wrote right after that. The biggest thing I care about in this movie is what happens to the cat. And then I had a bunch of notes in a row. My next 3 notes were all about cats because he brings the cat in to the second cat, so the wrong cat. Where's his
Where's
scrotum?
it
Yeah. Where's his scrotum, Llewyn?
This isn't my cat.
So I'm like, well,
Oh,
wrong
man.
cat, R.I.P. correct cat. And then he leaves the cat in the car with John Goodman's character after the driver and John Goodman's character's like handler gets arrested for pulling over. And so I'm like, also rip wrong cat. And then the next cat we see gets hit by a car. So I'm like, rip highway cat. Like, this
Listen,
is-
I honestly, after
Yeah.
the highway cat got hit, I was so angry at this movie as a person with an animal who has a broken limb and had to have surgery. Watching the cat limp away in pain,
Yeah.
it was too much for my little heart.
it
He
probably
just-
lived.
with a
Yeah, I'm
broken
sure.
limb out in the wild.
It's fine.
I was like,
It'll
It's got
heal.
3 others.
frick
Yeah, it'll
this
be okay.
guy, just leaving injured, bleeding cats.
Yeah.
Rude.
What could he do though to
Well,
fix
what
it
to
though?
I don't
do?
know,
Chase
take
through the
him.
woods.
Well, he got out and looked for it, but then it left.
Yeah, it hobbled away.
He
There's
could
no
have
getting
caught
it.
up with it. He shouldn't
That
have
cat
left
didn't
the
wanna be
other cat
seen.
either. He just left the other cat in the
Yeah.
car with John Goodman. I'm like, you're just gonna leave
Which
your
is funny
cat?
because the other cat he like made sure to carry around and bring with him and feed milk whenever he could. I was like, he's doing his due diligence here, but yeah, it's
Then he was like, nah, I'm done with that.
yeah.
I can't believe there were so many cats I didn't pick up on.
I can believe it. I can believe it. Oh man, classic Nick. And then the Gene pregnancy had a weird turn at the end with the show promoter guy.
Yeah, so are we supposed to take that to mean that it was probably his baby?
I think it's just we don't know.
We don't know. I think it's that we don't know that it's Llewyn's.
But she knew that she could pawn it off on Llewyn. She couldn't pawn it off on the like club owner.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that lady. She doesn't have many redeeming
No, I
qualities.
think she's a bad person.
Yeah.
But she
Also,
also
like,
has-
couldn't she just pawn it off on her
Spouting
husband?
vitriol.
There's that too.
Her husband doesn't have.
But-
I mean, that's a terrible way to
but,
look
like,
at it, but
On one hand, I think
they're all
she's
terrible people in
yeah.
this movie.
On one hand, I think she's bad, but on the other hand, some of her
know.
anger is like,
Yeah, Carl.
Hal Cody seems like a good dude.
yeah,
Yes. Okay, but like the main characters
And Troy Nelson. Yeah.
The main
He connects
characters
with people.
were all pretty
Yeah.
terrible. The gold
Goldfiends.
whatever.
No, they were great.
They were
people.
great.
They were good.
Llewyn
yeah.
yelled at them.
They
I
had
was
cool
like,
dinner parties like every night.
She
Yeah.
didn't
That's
deserve to be
awesome.
screamed at by Llewyn.
Well, and she apologized to him, and he's like, "You're apologizing to me." Those
Yeah.
are good characters.
I think he did have a little bit of an arc. He kind of like because he realized he was in the wrong, but also like that was his like deceased partner's part. So there was it was a tender moment, or like a sensitive topic. So like
That's why you go to therapy,
I can
so you can handle things like that better.
Yeah, but this is the 60s. They didn't do therapy back then.
I
We just
guess.
went to war and wrote folk songs.
And almost we were about to get another one.
Yeah.
That's his almost.
So I don't know.
mom.
You can kind of justify everything that Llewyn does, like because you're like, well, yeah,
Well,
he did.
I'm like, part of why you're so down on your luck is because you're a jerk to everybody, Llewyn.
It's a
So-
self-sabotaging to some degree.
Yeah, the world's given him nothing, so he kind of has a right to be angry. But that doesn't. I guess that's not really an excuse for why he lashes out in the ways that he does. But like,
It's hard to get out of that rut, though.
yeah, he's being dealt a bad hand at every turn. He's couch
Yeah.
surfing. He's a failing musician. He doesn't want to give up on his dream. His sister's telling him to.
Could go be
Yeah.
a waiter and, and
The
still be. You could be a waiter during the day and then go play at night.
Well, and even
pay rent.
He tries to give up and join the Navy again, and he can't even do that right.
That's what I'm saying. Go be
Yeah.
a waiter. Go
Well,
get any other day job,
But
sir.
he doesn't want to do that. There's a whole conversation he has with his sister about not wanting
Well,
to
I
do
think
that.
that's dumb.
I
You
don't
got to
know.
pay your bills,
Well,
fam.
he's an artist.
You gotta pay your
they're not
bills.
compromising
What
on some
bills?
things.
He doesn't have any bills because he,
He
doesn't
can't
have anywhere to
even. He
live.
can't buy a winter coat. He was cold.
I know but he's trying.
But
to
he's
make his
got one
dream
now.
work. I think
Yeah.
that's admirable.
You can make your dream work and also work a side job.
That's not what he thought, at least for him.
Well, I think he's
This was
wrong.
before hustle
Well-
culture. He didn't really know how to do all this kind of
We
stuff.
had this conversation the other night, and she hated the movie, of course. I loved it.
Even with the music.
I thought it was great.
I liked the music.
Yeah,
I
the
like
music
the
was
folk
really.
I really liked
great.
the movie, but she didn't relate with the character at all.
No.
And I saw myself in Llewyn Davis a lot.
I see myself in some of the stuff. Some of the stuff I'm like, I couldn't do that. But yeah, he's.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
identified with him and could put myself in his shoes for pretty much every struggle he had. So he was a really
Yeah.
relatable, easily relatable character for me.
Yeah.
And his journey, even though it's not like he has an arc, but it's not like a Roman arch. It's like a little,
Yeah.
But I kind of like that.
It's a
because
bump.
It's
A bump.
I don't know.
A character bump.
It's fun to follow. It was fun for me, at least, to like watch a story where the dude like doesn't. It's not triumphant at the end, but he grows a little bit, and then whether the story is cyclical or not, whether it's the same day happening twice, and well, what happens in this day if he keeps the cat in, and that's the difference, or whether it's a totally different day and it's just deja vu happening, and it's the Matrix. I don't think it matters. I liked the journey from
Yeah.
point A to point B.
So I guess I was talking to a friend at work about this movie, and she was saying that a theme of like Coen brother movies is you kind of follow a person for a day or for a week. Like one of her favorite movies is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, that's a Coen Brothers movie?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And she said you just kind of like pop in and then you pop back out and like not much happens. You're just kind of along for the ride in this person's life. So I thought that was an interesting observation. And like this movie made more sense to me after thinking about it that way.
I think that's what I was trying to articulate very badly, is that I liked this movie because you're just kind of like, you it's like you attached a GoPro to just a random guy on the streets of New York and followed him around for a day. And that was very interesting to me, more so than a lot of like
It's a very
big story-driven
warts and
movies.
all
Yeah.
kind of movie. It's funny you mentioned Matrix because I have heard that this is a Matrix simulation for a folk musician.
I mean, I can see
funny.
that as with the beginning and ending being how
And
it
it is very green. Yeah, it's very
it's
green.
a green movie.
Yeah.
But
I
couldn't
feel
you
like-
say that about any movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's just a
Yeah.
simulation for the
And I'm going to
Matrix.
keep bringing it up for
Whatever
every
the plot
movie.
is.
Can't
Yeah.
wait.
This is a
Please
whatever.
do. Actually, I heard that this movie.
Truman Show is actually a simulation for if your life was a show.
We
Like,
watched
yeah.
the Muppets movie, and Carl's like, "Now you're not going to
No,
believe
you
this."
You're not gonna. All right. I hope you guys are sitting down.
Did you guys remember seeing any press, anything for this film?
No.
Not really. No.
I feel like I remember vaguely one of the subway scenes with the cat, like seeing that on ads or something, but I couldn't I'm not.
This is definitely like an art house film festival movie.
Yeah, like this isn't a movie. I don't think this was a movie that was going to be like on a Super
Not a
Bowl commercial.
blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, during a halftime show in a football game.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
no one
too
we've
many
talked
long
to about it.
pauses.
Yeah, artsy fartsy kind of like it's a
This movie
Sundance
of the
movie.
ones we've seen, Sundance, exactly. This movie feels the most like a poem or a novel breathed to
Yes.
life, like of any movie we've watched so far for this podcast. Like this feels the most like art, you know,
Indie-ish.
like the scenes, the stylization, the subject matter, a struggling artist. It was very, art for art's sake kind of thing.
It's got that indie movie feel, but with
Mm-hmm.
like very very clean Hollywood production.
Yeah,
Instead
very
of,
high
like,
budget.
You know, like Rubber. That
I mean, it was
tire
done
movie.
well. The acting was great.
Yeah,
Like it felt like a quality movie.
I
the
loved,
music was amazing. Yeah, all the songs they made up were really great too.
I loved Oscar
I'm
Isaac.
assuming
in
Mr.
it.
Kennedy was fake.
Yeah, it has to be fake.
Was fake?
Space?
What, Nick?
What was fake?
I'm just assuming that movie was made for that song was made for this movie.
Yeah,
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Kennedy.
yeah, it had to have been.
I don't know. We'll check with the research department and get back with you. No, I loved Oscar Isaac in it. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, he nailed it.
I want to see more of his stuff after this because it was great. Isn't he
You know,
in
he's in
Narcos?
the hit films, the Star Wars. trilogy.
I love
The
the
sequel
sequel trilogy.
If you want to see more Oscar Isaac,
You know who's a genius is Kathleen Kennedy. Not. I
If you want
when I come to power.
a Star Wars cast minus Star Wars plot, Deus Ex Machina or
Yeah.
Ex Machina,
Yeah.
whatever it is Oscar Isaac and the guy that played Hux.
Also Dune.
Oh yeah, he's in Dune.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the Atreides dad, whatever his freaking
I
name
can't
is.
remember what his name is.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Well, that's
that's
the
Paul,
son.
but he's Paul's dad.
Yeah, I don't
Paul's
I don't
father.
remember Paul's dad's name.
Oh.
Paul's dad. That's his name.
Yeah, that's the only that was my only prior exposure to Oscar Isaac was Star Wars and Dune. Dune is lit. I can't wait for Dune again.
Same with Adam Driver for me. I only know him from Star Wars.
Same, yeah. And that SNL skit, which is also just Star Wars.
Such
Yeah.
a good
He's
SNL
in that.
skit.
He's in that Marriage Story movie. You couldn't pay me money to watch, just because it looks
It's on
like
Netflix, right?
just horribly stressful, and I don't want to watch like couples fight and go, "What a riveting film!" Like it's not me, dude. Sounds
No.
awful. I didn't have a whole lot of other notes on it.
I had a question.
Okay, go ahead, because
This
I'm out of stuff to say.
Doesn't really relate to the movie except in one small way. In the beginning, he stays at Gene and Jim's apartment with another fella, and he eats a bowl of cereal. And I wanted to ask, what's your favorite cereal?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
All right.
sometimes a good bowl of cereal
I
really
have-
hits the spot, you
I
know?
have
That
an
was very good.
I have an
You're
insane
gonna go plug in
answer.
somewhere? God, that was
yeah.
so good.
I
He's
want
like,
I want that guy to get I want him to make it.
I liked that guy. The military
he did make
guy.
it for sure.
He's great.
He's so disciplined.
100%. That guy.
He
was-
thrives on that.
Yeah, that guy's a secretary. Of
But he
defense.
did meet Private Presley, so
No. Do you mean
Nope.
Private Press? It's like
Everyone
is that
asks
what we're calling
that.
Elvis?
Right. Everyone asks that. It's like, yeah, of course they do. Like, why are you surprised, Mr. Robot? Like, so goofy.
That was very good. I also
What a performer. Does he have a higher function? Look, it's so good. Oh man.
my favorite cereal? I have an insane answer for this. Because I'm so old, you guys. My favorite cereal, this is not a joke, is Raisin Bran. That is my favorite cereal.
that
However,
is.
if you pour me just a bowl of Raisin Bran, like dry, I'm out. If you put a tablespoon of sugar on it, though, it's the best
Then
cereal
you're
in the
in.
world. It's so good. You know what's not good? Raisin Bran Crunch. Not a fan.
What?
really?
I don't like it.
I was gonna ask if you
Here's
like
why.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Here is why. I don't like the honey coating on the bran flakes.
But that's what
too
makes
waxy?
it sweeter.
It's too waxy. I like the nice brittle crunch.
Here's
of
the
normal
problem with
Raisin Bran.
waxy cereals. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a waxy cereal. O's is a waxy cereal, but O's has a really nice crunch.
Yes.
But it makes the milk really waxy. And I've done experiments
true.
where I've tried to make cereal milk at home, because I was like, how good is that cereal milk? And I've come to realize that the experience of cereal milk is only good after you've had a bowl of cereal to drink it.
Oh.
You can't
can't just
make
go
cereal
drink
milk
cereal
and
milk.
drink it on its own. You haven't earned it. It's not warranted. You have to go through a bowl of cereal, and then you get to enjoy.
You gotta earn your keep.
Like the little you gotta earn your keep. Yeah, you have to. It's got to be earned. So
I'm
I've
curious.
tried it.
How did you make cereal milk at home?
Yeah,
Same as
walk
Did you
us
just
through.
pour bowls and then dump out the cereal?
I take a mason jar and I put a cup of cereal in it, and then I pour milk all the way, and I close it, put it in the fridge, let it steep for 24 hours, and I strain it.
Okay.
And it's not good. It doesn't. You would think you would get a
Don't
lot
say.
of. You would think you would let it, because you can't let it steep on the counter at room temperature, which is where you
No.
extract more flavor. So you have to let it sit in the fridge. And I've done 24-hour and a 48-hour extraction. Neither get the flavor right. You don't get it right. It needs to be
wonder
more
why.
sweet.
It's over concentrate.
It's just not sweet enough. It just doesn't
Oh.
get
But like,
the
why is
flavor
that
right.
different than cereal that sits in the bowl for like 10 minutes?
Because it's sitting at room temperature, and then you're getting the cereal taste. So you have the
But your
cereal taste in your
milk
mouth,
is
and then you.
Yeah. No. But the milk.
But the milk warms down.
okay.
So
I think
Wow.
you're
Yeah.
drinking 40 or
Juice
50
Juice
degree
isn't
milk
worth the
instead of-
squeeze to steep your cereal milk or try to get cereal milk. It's just not worth it.
Well, I'm glad you did the rigorous testing.
I-
for us.
yeah.
That's appalling. But what's your favorite cereal though? What's your favorite cereal?
I've been on the Magic Spoon kick for a while, but I'm kind of deviating
never
away from
had
that because
that.
I'm like,
Too expensive
it's
for me,
fine.
man.
It's expensive, and it's like not the best texture. So I was a Frosted Flakes kid for a long time. Mini wheats are great. The Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yes.
You ever
I do
have
like
the-
Raisin Bran Crunch. Do what?
Do you ever have the mini wheats that are like really small and they had like the chocolate in the center?
Ooh.
No.
They were like chocolate
Oh, do-
frosted ones, and they had a little bit of chocolate in the middle, and so you
Oh,
bite
man.
through the mini wheat, but then you hit that, you get to like explode, like crush that little piece of chocolate between your teeth.
That sounds pretty good.
It was the freaking
Yeah.
Do
best.
they not make those anymore?
That
I don't
sounds
know. It was
awesome.
called like double fudge or something. Dude,
I'm sure that's somewhere on
super
eBay.
good.
Yeah.
And the
I'll
mini,
bid
like
on that.
the super tiny mini wheats are the way. Like,
Yeah,
normal mini wheats.
because
I'm
cereal
still
is
like,
so much about texture. Because that's the other problem I have with mini wheats is if you don't wolf those down quick, you end up with a
O's
bowl
is
of
the
like
same.
shredded mush.
Yeah.
O's were good
Uh,
for 20 seconds.
O's having a pretty long lasting crunch, but I do love O's. They had the good stuff in the middle was their slogan. Right now though, I just got Cheerios. It was buy one get one free, General Mills at Publix. Cheerios Crunch. It was like almond. They're basically doing their version of the O cereal, but they have like an almond version, a honey cluster one, and a cinnamon one. So that's what I'm doing right now. Frosted Flakes always good. Mini Wheat's always good. Breakfast cereals.
The clutch one for
good
me,
stuff.
if it's not Raisin Bran, Fruity Pebbles, dude.
Fruity
That's a
Pebbles
good.
is
I-
amazing.
That's like the fruity rice of cereal because it's like
Yeah.
you can eat 1,000 of them.
Easy.
Like the
I
texture of it's
love
great.
Fruity Pebbles.
Not Cocoa Pebbles.
I like Cocoa Pebbles too. I
Okay.
like them more than the Rice Krispie competitor. The chocolate
Rice Krispie Crunch was good.
Nope, I like Cocoa Krispies.
Yeah, Cocoa Krispies. That's what they're called. I'm a.
Those are great.
No, I'm with Fred Flintstone on this.
I was gonna say.
I'm a,
when we were
uh,
oh, go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna say I'm a Captain Crunch guy,
Captain Crunch is so good.
That's another wax.
But
You
not-
like you like your
but
mouth
not
to
Oops
get-
All Berries.
No, you gotta have the other ones.
The little hay
Yeah.
bales.
Yeah.
I don't like those.
It's all about the
because-
What
ratio.
are they? Are
I
they hay
saw
bales?
an ad for Captain Crunch. It
Barrels?
wasn't even an ad, and I've
Barrels?
wanted it ever since.
No, because it destroys your mouth.
Oh, but it's so good.
And I don't like it because I don't like.
They do crunch like
it's
crazy.
it's like
What-
if you like those like rotating cheese graters. I feel like I put one of those in my mouth and just like turned it after I've eaten.
No.
Yeah, they
like
rip
the
your
ones at
mouth
Olive.
up. Yeah, yeah,
the ones at
yeah.
Olive Garden?
The ones
Olive
at the
Garden?
horrendously shitty
Your
restaurant called
favorite,
Olive Garden.
your favorite Italian joint.
Dude, there's nowhere more authentic
What?
and Italian than Olive Garden. I love having it. I love sipping a $8 a glass of Zinfandel from an $8 Target bottle while listening to Hearing Aids ring and eating the most flavorless freaking. I hate Olive Garden so much, dude.
Hearing aids.
You know what sucks? And I refute, like,
What sucks?
America needs to listen to me and wake up because the Olive Garden breadsticks are dog shit. They're terrible. They're atrocious. They're tough. They taste
Wow.
like they've been in a freezer because they have been. Nothing there is fresh. Their breadsticks are trash. I just nothing there's worth
They
it.
they can be amazing, but they're often
No, they can't.
not.
No, they can't. They can't because I've never had them be amazing because they're terrible. I also just don't like their specific mixture of like garlic to like salty butter is off for me.
They need more. They need more.
They
of
need
both.
more of both. Correct. Because it's just like undercooked, doughy, and yet frozen somehow,
But if you dip it in the Alfredo sauce, though.
which is flavorless garbage. Their
But-
Alfredo sauce is criminally terrible. I shouldn't be able to go to Publix and get, first of all, Alfredo sauce, not hard to make. Any idiot with a wooden spoon in 5 minutes can make Alfredo sauce. That is not from scratch. It's not hard. But also, you can go to Publix and just like blindfold yourself and grab a random jar at will off the shelf of Publix, and it will be 10 times better than Olive Garden's disgustingly sad and woeful excuse for Alfredo sauce. It's terrible. It's just like thickened milk. It's bullshit. Makes me furious. But
I
the
don't
thing
think you are.
that
No.
pisses me off about Olive Garden is that it is so aggressively mediocre that it's offensive to me.
But isn't that the point of Olive Garden? Does anyone
Why
really
does it
expect?
exist? Why are we defending abject mediocrity?
why do we have Applebee's
It's like,
or Chili's?
well, no, because those are like universally panned. Like those are for
Okay.
the like
They're terrible.
Yeah, like the twice divorced terrible shitty father on in between shifts of his day job and his shitty night job that he hates goes to the Olive Garden or the Applebee's bar to feel good in the neighborhood and get a Bud Heavy and think about his life.
Bud Heavy.
And the only thing he's looking forward to is his bowling league on Friday nights, and can't remember if he
You
gets the
love
kids.
bowling.
He can't remember if he gets the kids
This is
this
starting to
weekend or
sound like a
next.
Coen
Like,
Brothers movie.
that is
Too
like
specific.
He's just explaining a character.
that's
in
the
Coen Brothers movie.
universal
Yeah.
like
You're,
that's what
you're
what
describing
everybody.
The Big Lebowski.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
But that's how everybody feels about Applebee's and like
All right.
Chili's,
Man.
except for the baby back ribs. We're talking about a movie. How did we
How
even
did we
get
get
here?
on Olive Garden?
I don't know.
I think it's Nick's fault.
Nick did it.
We started talking about
Oh, you said
cereal, and then
cheese
I
grater,
blinked,
man.
and then we were
Oh,
starting
you
to
said
talk about
Said
grater.
cheese
Cereal.
grater.
Did someone not give
Let's
their
start
favorite
with
cereal?
cereal.
Nick said
think we all
Captain
did.
Crunch.
Nick said Captain
Captain
Crunch. That's
Crunch for
right,
me.
and it's crazy because it's like eating sandpaper. What did you give yours?
I would go with Cocoa Rice Krispies, which I kind of said already.
Okay,
But I
Cocoa
also love a
Krispies.
flavored Cheerio.
I'm out of breath from yelling about fucking Olive Garden.
I got a
hate
craving
that
for
restaurant.
cereal.
So
You know
No,
what's
never
like
mind.
not any better is what's that place? That other one?
Red Lobster?
No. Red Lobster I hate because I almost
Other
fought
Italian?
an old lady.
Another Italian restaurant?
Carrabba's.
Carrabba's is better than Olive Garden.
never been there.
Carrabba's is better. It's so what if Olive Garden was like just less shitty enough to be passable? That's Carrabba's.
Oh, I like Carrabba's.
But Carrabba's also like they want you to feel like you're at like the dinner of your lifetime. Like it's an event to go to Carrabba's, you know?
It's not,
But it's
though.
not. It's just
I
Olive
haven't
Garden.
been to a restaurant in so long. I don't know.
It's fine. You're better off.
I go
mean,
to
we don't
dive
either.
bars. Like, yeah, it's
Well, yeah, because dive bars are great. Olive Garden
Yeah.
sucks.
yeah.
Well, look at Phoebe.
Also, if you're a divorced dad that goes to Applebee's for beers, don't beat me up, please.
Before bowling night, apparently.
Well, looking
Bowling
forward to
night.
bowling night. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong
But
with
is
bowling.
that not the Applebee's demographic? Is that not who's going there? Because
Yeah,
that's
pretty
who's
good.
going there. It's like
So in modern day, which restaurant would Llewyn Davis prefer? Would he be at Applebee's
No.
being sad about his career?
No, he's
way
at a
too
dive bar,
He's way
right?
too artsy for Applebee's.
He would be in a dive
Probably.
bar.
if Llewyn Davis though, if I had to say Llewyn
He'd be at
Davis
some
is going
diner.
to X national like restaurant chain, I think one of the only ones that makes sense is Waffle House.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
you're
think
right.
Waffle House is actually
You're
national.
100%
I think
right.
it's regional,
Oh, really?
but I do think that
Because he's also not eating at regular
well,
hours.
Waffle
Right,
House
exactly.
is in New York, so
True.
I think it's Eastern.
yeah. But he could.
Well,
be
he's in
there.
New York.
He's
You're
in
right.
New York, so he
Yeah.
could go to Waffle House.
No, I think it's Waffle House because again, irregular time, cheap food, and like, I don't know.
It's a waffle.
You see the full spectrum of America at a Waffle House.
Yeah.
Applebee's guy's there at 3 a.m. But also me.
After his
After he
bowling
lost
club.
bowling,
bowling,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I do like
Poor
bowling.
guy.
bowling's good.
Bowling's
there's
underrated.
There's a difference between like I like bowling and like I've got like shirts in a league.
I'm in a league.
And this is like my
I'm in a
personality is bowling.
I wish I was good enough to be in a league.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I'm trash at bowling.
Bowling is like the unfiltered
bumper
cigarette
guards?
to golf.
No, I'll never do
cigar.
that. But I do throw it real hard and I always miss it. I'm like, "Argh, this is fun. This is fun. Like,
All right,
we're all having a good time.
We should
Should we rate the movie?
Yeah, we should stop and,
Yeah.
and rate the movie.
True.
Let's go. Let's have you go first because you're gonna be really mad about it, and I'm interested.
All right.
Not mad, but you didn't like
I'm
it.
not mad. No, I didn't enjoy this film.
Shocker.
I know, we're all surprised. So, and I was trying to think of why, because I don't want to be a downer on all
We
these
talked
movies.
about it the other night. Is it still the same reason, or has
Yeah.
it changed?
No, it's the same reason. I think I like my movies to feel escapist, and that doesn't have to be necessarily positive, because I do like some dramatic movies that end in, like, you know, not the happily ever after ending, although I prefer it. But, you know, this movie, it's just real life is so hard, and watching a movie where things are hard and sad, like, that's not what I want from a film. So I think that's why I've had a hard time with a lot of these like downer films, because I want to feel like, even with The Matrix, like
It's a bummer.
it's a bummer, but you know, it's sci-fi, it's an adventure, it's something different. I'm being taken out of like regular world.
And it's a Messiah story. Like there's definite uplift to the Matrix. There was not definite uplift to this
So,
movie.
And I did want to say that I was reading about this movie, and the folk music community did not like it. So I want to come out as an ally of the folk community against Inside Llewyn Davis,
Why?
because
Yeah,
it
why
did
did they
not
not?
accurately represent the friendliness of the village folk scene of the 60s.
What?
It was unrecognizable in the movie.
No.
They took a vibrant, crackling, competitive, romantic, drunken, brawling
Oh,
scene
y'all
and
just froze for
crumpled
me.
it into a slow,
Okay.
brown, sad movie. And I stand with the folk community.
The folk community can suck my ass. They're too
Can I-
sensitive.
Can I say that Jim did invite Llewyn to record? He knew he needed money, so he was
Sure,
very
that's friendly.
inclusive. That was friendly. The things that happened to him were outside of the folk community. It was the producers. It was life circumstances.
Right.
I think the community itself is inclusive,
Him being a
aside
bad
from
person.
Gene. Al Cody let him stay at his apartment. Troy Nelson was friendly towards him, even though he was like, "You making him into a killing machine?" Like he was like,
Yeah.
"No, I think it's a little different." I think they did it seemed like an inclusive community aside from just Gene.
The folk community just wants to get mad because they're all like
Yeah.
80 years old and about to die.
These aren't
I feel like
my
the same
words,
thing
these
happened
are
in
their
like
words.
Whiplash, where people that make jazz were like, "That's not how you make jazz," you know. And like,
Right.
I haven't seen Whiplash, but I've seen comedians in cars and they reference it. So
Yeah.
I know enough to say that.
Maybe then the takeaway is that Llewyn isn't a good fit for the folk music
No,
community.
because he
Oh.
is.
Maybe,
I don't know.
It's
Anyways.
it's a starving artist movie. It's.
yeah.
But yeah. So what's your rating?
Anyways, I'll give it a 2.
Okay, that's better than I
I
thought.
want to give it a 1.5, but I'm going to bump it up because everyone did a good job and the music was good. And
Everyone did their best.
Everyone tried.
They tried real hard.
And I don't really want to give it a 1.5, so I'm going to give it a 2.
All right.
Inside Llewyn Davis.
Inside Llewyn Davis.
All right, Nick.
I didn't love the movie. It felt really slow for me at some points. The music definitely was the best part. I did enjoy that when he was playing a song, at least 50% of the time, we got the full song. Like it was 2 or 3 minutes of him playing. Like when he was playing for the guy in Chicago, like we got the entire song, not just a little clip of him playing in front of him. So I enjoyed the music part. Story was slow. I wanted there to be some kind of redemption at the end, and we didn't get that. It was just kind of a bummer all the way through. I wanted more backstory on his partner, and like Why did his partner kill
I
himself?
thought we'd get some more backstory on that as well, or some sort of resolution of him making peace with that, but we didn't get that.
Well,
Because that
At the
probably
end,
informs how Llewyn is acting.
Well, but
and like
I
why
think-
he's
Yeah.
I think not
'Cause-
getting peace with it also informs like Llewyn's character, because it's not a resolve. It's not something that he has had resolved for him.
I just thought that would be more of
That's
a
true.
plot point of the movie.
And
to argue the other side, I will say he sang the song that was supposed to be a duet solo and people cheered. So I think that is kind of the
Yep.
resolution. It's like I can be a solo act. And it's like I can do it alone.
Yep.
Because that was the same song that he yelled at Lillian at the dinner party for.
Yeah, the
for
one
like
he
trying to
plays at
sing
the
his
very
part.
end.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there is that a little bit of like kind of ribbon on it, but it's still not like maybe not as
Nothing
Much.
nothing was all better. And I liked
Right.
that about the movie.
yeah. It's very realistic and
I don't
grounded in that part.
I don't necessarily want a happy ending or for him to overcome something, but I'd want some kind of resolution, and it felt kind of open ended. I don't know. For star rating though, I think I'm with Danielle on a 2, just because the music was awesome, and the fact that they all performed it and actually sang. But that was pretty cool.
Yep.
So 2 stars.
I'm torn between 3.5 and 4.
What?
Yep. I
4?
I really liked it. But I feel like I gave everything a 4.
I mean, that's fine.
I really liked it. I am not like. I don't think I liked it because I play guitar or anything stupid and shallow like that. I like because a lot of music stories or whatever and stories that we get about artists in film are like really triumphant. Like, here's how he made it and whatever. Like, and this was the opposite of that. And I appreciate the realism, and I appreciated the snapshot of we're just gonna follow this dude for a bit, which is nice to know that that's a Coen Brothers trope. I might want to watch more of the movie. I need to watch Oh Brother Where Art Thou again. That movie is fantastic. The music in that is also very good. So I liked that. I liked some of the things that Nick disliked. I really liked about the movie. I liked things being left open ended because it feels more like life than a movie. So it's like, I mean, there are things in people like stuff that I'm dealing with doesn't get resolved every day, and I'm not like, woohoo, what a great bow on the top of this. Like, you know, you sit with something for a long time or possibly forever. Like, he went and visited his dad, got nothing out of it, essentially. Like, just got to see his dad at his lowest point, and then his thank you was his
Poop
dad
all over
crapped
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's life. Life sucks, and it's poopy.
No, I get that.
And his brother,
But just-
his partner,
It's about managing expectation.
his partner died, and people are always telling him, "Oh, you should get the group back together," and blah blah blah, and don't know that his partner is dead and he can't. And that's not the point. He wants to be successful on his own, whether or not that is what is monetarily best for his career. Excuse me, that's what he wants. And I think maybe admirable is not the right word, but I liked the struggle of him sticking to his guns there, even
It's
though
noble, honorable. I don't know if those are even
I
good
like
words.
sticking to his guns. I like
but
that.
even when it was like, you know, like to like not counter your argument, but on the flip side of your coin, well, he wouldn't get a job or whatever because he wanted so desperately to make it work that he was, I mean, walking around with his guitar during the day and going to the next place and blah blah blah. And there were no phones, there was no internet. Like,
I
he
just feel
couldn't
like it's
just
silly.
he couldn't pass it. Well, everyone in his life thought it was.
Well, I'm with them.
Well, exactly.
I'm with them. I'm against Llewyn Davis. Get a job.
I think it's interesting from a narrative perspective to have that be the angle that the movie chose. And instead of like, you know, I feel like would be prototypical. And if I sat down to write a movie, not that I know how to write a movie because I don't, but like it would be I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to go succeed. And then he would. And in this movie, he's like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to just keep struggling, I guess. And then the movie ends. And
Yep.
I I liked that. Now it's not. It wasn't an entertaining movie in the same way that like The Matrix is an entertaining movie, because there's like layers to this onion, and there's action, and there's a Christ character, and blah blah blah, and it's this small group versus the world. We're just like following a dude doing normal dude stuff, and I really liked that narratively. I felt like the John Goodman part was the weakest part of the film, just because it was like, what is even happening here?
Yeah. And then we just leave him. So what was the point?
I don't think that detracts, because there are like things in real life that feel that way. Man, why did I just do that? Why am I in Chicago right now? I came all the way here and nothing worked. I need to get all the way home now. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I really liked the movie. As for 3.5 or 4, I think I'm going to go 3.5, because it wasn't like the most riveting movie I've ever seen in my life. It wasn't my favorite movie I've ever seen in my life, but it was a solidly good movie. I don't know if it's in I would watch it again territory, which is I think north like 4 and above for me would be like I would watch this again, like not necessarily tomorrow, but but it's I think if 3 is average, this is an above average movie for me. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't go in my like rotation, but I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Carl.
I was laughing at it because you're like, I wouldn't watch it again. I was like, I think I watched it like 4 times.
I only watched it always once.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think we've touched on a lot of it already, I guess, but like the cyclical nature of the story, I thought was really compelling. I thought the ending and starting at the same point was really nice, because it does keep it open to interpretation. I think that makes it to where the story is more malleable to like each individual person. They can see different things in themselves at different points of his like journey. The slice of life is great. Like, I think every little character they introduced, like Johnny Five, and I can't remember, Roland Turner, I think was John Goodman's character.
Yeah,
like all those,
right.
I thought all the characters, for how brief we saw them, for whatever impact they had on the story, I thought they were all really well done and really crafted and distinct. And yeah, just like Llewyn, every turn there's something that happens where he's just like, God, if she didn't get pregnant, or like if she had known, like he could have taken the royalties on that one song and then he wouldn't have had to pay it off. And then we find out like, yeah, just like, then it's like, oh, you don't have to worry about it. He could have taken royalties on that song, but he didn't, because he thought like the information he had was wrong. And so it's like, man, like every turn there's something. Yeah, it's like he's getting screwed over at every turn. And like I do art, so I kind of resonate with like the art, like down here like artists, where it's like, what am I doing? Like this isn't working. Like but you still feel compelled to create. You still feel compelled to do something. So you resonate with that, like against all odds, I'm gonna try until something works out, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I don't know. I really enjoy. I think for a score rating, I think a 4 feels good. I thought the storytelling was really good. I thought, you know, the music was great. I thought the cinematography was really well done. Every scene felt artistic and well crafted. Yeah, I think a 4 feels good. I don't know what else I can really say. I'm rambling at this point.
Yeah, sure. No, I liked it. I figured we would agree.
Yeah.
I knew this is how it was gonna. As soon as the movie ended, I was like, God damn it, Carl and Cameron are gonna agree, and they're gonna be like, there's so much meaning in this. And
I've been singing that "Hang Me,
oh.
Oh Hang Me" song 1,000 times, because it's about a self-sabotaging artist. He's like, you know, it's like, I'm gonna I persecute myself as much as anyone else persecutes me, kind of thing. And it's like, I can resonate with that self-destructive behavior. So.
Your
And I'm just really impressed with how much he can sing. Like Oscar Isaac can really sing.
Yeah.
Like he needs to have a solo album or a record or something. Like that was really impressive.
No, Nick, I think that makes sense, because I think it's a movie that's enjoyed the more it's chewed on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Carl's watched it 4 times.
Yeah. Well, just the cat thing. It's like we can look at the cat and be like, what does that mean? And like you can look at each character and be like, well, what does this mean? And like I think it's one of those where it's like they give you enough information to kind of build out from, but not too much to lock you into anything.
Well, and the 4 of us watched it, and we had 3 or 4 different views on what the cats were doing, which is super interesting.
Yeah.
Like Nick's view was to ignore them completely. Danielle latched on to the one getting hit.
Cat should be seen, not considered. Yeah.
Danielle latched onto the one getting hit. I freaking was trying to find ties to Llewyn's arc in the 3 cats. So
Yeah, I latched onto the physical cats of like, are they okay?
yeah, you latched onto the physical cats. I latched onto the metaphorical cats, and Nick didn't latch onto the cats at all.
Just like in real life, you ignore them.
No,
They don't exist.
Meow, meow, meow,
I am
meow.
not
They're
a cat
pointless,
Meow, 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 meow.
worthless.
I don't know.
Meow, 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 meow.
Cats or
We
whatever.
lose all of our cat followers.
I hope
here.
your cat's ears are closed, Carl.
Leo. Oh, she's sleeping.
Yeah.
A man with
what
a cat. Is this a part of the act?
Well,
Yeah.
should we pull a movie?
It is time to pull a movie.
It's time to pull a movie. I wonder what we'll get. I really want to watch
Did
the
you
Muppet
shake it
movie.
up?
No. Here, you shake,
Shake it up. The bucket of fate. All right.
It's a popcorn bucket.
It's the bucket of fate.
All right. Let's see here.
There's so many bad movies in this bucket still.
Ooh, a classic. We're going back in time again.
Okay.
And it's actually good that we pulled this before other movies in the list. Very influential film. Seven Samurai.
Oh.
So I'm kind of
okay.
hyped to go back into the 40s or 50s or whenever that movie
Bye, baby.
came out. So I know Nick is thrilled. He loves black and white movies.
Oh, it's a black and white
Oh,
movie?
it's black and white.
Yeah, it's old as hell. Let's see when it came out, you guys.
I don't know anything about
excited.
Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
1954.
It influenced Star Wars
Well,
and
there were
The
color
Good, Bad,
movies
the
in
Ugly
that
too,
It's
right?
also
And Kill Bill.
long.
How long is it?
Bug's Life is a Seven Samurai movie, essentially.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. It's 3.5 hours.
Is it actual
oh my
samurais?
God.
Yes, it's actual samurai.
It's
Three-
3.5
It's
hours.
3.5 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got to be
boy.
like the second longest
Give it a
movie on the
snack.
list then.
I
Yeah.
think Gone with the
Second
Wind's
or third.
longer. And
Well,
African
I
Queen,
guess
I
it's
think, is
second.
also long as a mug.
Man, I've been snacking like crazy. Triscuits, Ritz, and Wheat Thins have all been buy one get one free at Publix.
Ooh.
Same with hummus and
Okay.
tzatziki and salsa. You can get so many dips and so many chips and mix and match and try them all.
Okay, which Triscuit shape? Square or
Triscuit
triangle?
shape. I haven't seen a triangle Triscuit.
The original Triscuits are triangular, and they are
Oh.
lighter,
Oh.
and like they've got air in the middle, so they're not as dense.
Okay.
They're like they're I love.
I'd be down
the-
for that. I'm all about what makes each one distinct. Like Wheat Thins, I really like with hummus because they have
Yes.
like that crunch of Wheat Thin is just unparalleled. Ritz are so buttery and flaky, they break in your fingers sometimes when you're dipping them and you're like, come on.
Oh, we talked so much.
I
about
love
food.
snacks.
Yeah. Well,
Snacks.
we're
I'm
gonna
hungry, y'all.
watch a long movie, you
Yay.
guys.
Yep.
And
Great.
we'll be back next week and talk about Seven Samurai, and we'll try to be informative about it because it inspires so many other movies. We're gonna have to do research again. This is gonna be a Citizen Kane situation, I think. So,
Mm.
at any rate,
I hope.
we'll try not to get sick again, and we'll catch y'all next week. See ya.